Hello my friends, welcome. Hello my friends, welcome back again to some, well, what I'm gonna call it, folder reviews, camera reviews, I don't know. Just to welcome my cat there. He likes to be the star of the company. Welcome back to my main attic. And today I have some news about cameras. I recently had a film camera that needed to be repaired. It's a camera that requires some assistance, some cleaning. The film advance was stuck. It was not advanced, and the shutter would not release. So it was a family camera, so it had some sentimental value. So I didn't want it just to throw it away. So I actually went ahead and tried to fix it myself, and I soon noticed that was just I was way above my head. I was not going to risk to do the repairs myself, but I still wanted to get that camera back on working order. So I knew beforehand that here in Portugal there is a shop. I would not say famous, but it's famous within the photo community, especially within the analog photography community. And if you are Portuguese or if you are in Portugal and you need some camera assistance, either analog or digital, I would heavily recommend this shop. I'm going to put here somewhere. I'll probably pause the video for a couple of seconds and put there the actual shop name, so you can check it out. It's in a very cool location. You can go just have a coffee, have some pastries, or just go around about taking photos. And if you run into issues, go there. They like to chat, so if you just want to go there and say hi, I'm sure they will enjoy that. So I'm going to stop the video now for 2 seconds. You can pause and just check the location. Okay, so I would advise you strongly to go there if you have any issues with the digital camera, if you want to clean some sensors, if you are here out and about and you have a film camera and it stops to work, they are happy to help and to do anything they want to assist you guys on that aspect. And they did with me. In my case, it took a while to fix it because it didn't need to tear it apart, check the content, the ins and outs, and put it back together. So the problems were the film was not advancing properly because the shutter was stuck. That's the best way I can describe it. And this camera has a Selenium meter, and the Selenium meter was just not working. And this camera actually needs this to operate properly. So I haven't downloaded the manual, but it's pretty much self-explanatory how to use it. And I used it for street photography. So I'm not going to post a bunch of pictures during the video. So I'm going to post maybe one of me. And in the end, I will post the remainder. So just stick to the end and you can see the slideshow with all the others. So I don't clutter this with images. So I used it and I enjoyed it. And maybe, I don't know if it was a novelty factor or what, but maybe it's currently my favorite street photography camera, and I explain to you guys why that. It's a shame I have to return the camera to its owner. It's a family member. I want to keep it back in working order. So I'm just going to have a sip of tea. Nice. Okay, so the camera is over here. You probably see it near my counter. And also here I have the freshly just out of the scanner negatives. Okay, so I'm not going to show all the pictures because some are not that interesting, to be honest, but I'm going to show the camera. So here's the camera here. As you can see, I have the ever-ready case here available. It's in a decent condition, but you want to see the camera itself, obviously. So one thing this camera has is it has a Selenium meter. So it is an automatic exposure camera. So it's where it shines. It's on the auto mode. So that's where I use it. 100% of the time I used it. I only used it for one roll. Maybe it's a little bit soon to say that it's my favorite camera for street, but it is right now. So I'm going just to take it out from the case. So, sorry. So here it is on its half case. I'm going to take it out so you guys can see the full view. So it's the Zeiss Ikon Tenax, maybe that's the correct name. So let me just see if the camera can focus without glare. Well, it's more or less, yeah. My face is a camera right now. Okay, so this is the Zeiss Ikon Tenax, whatever. So you can call it a rangefinder if you want to. You frame through here and you shoot through here. It has a Selenium meter, as I mentioned. Here is the meter there. Let me see if I can get it more or less into focus. So there is the scale here. Here is where you put your flash sink. This is where it used to be here, a little door that covers this part here. And here it's where you set the ISO of the film. And this is not in ISO, this is in DIN. But luckily enough, in the back you have here a DIN selector which makes it easier to convert from DIN to ASA. So here it has two options here. You kind of bracket, so you're going to say at the darkest of the day you're going to set it to this X ISO. Here I'm set to DIN 33, which is around about 400-500 ISO, and in the bright side I have to 30. So this is I used Tri-X, so it was a 400 ISO film, and this apparently worked fine. So on the cloud it's on 33 and the sun it's on 30, but the next time I would just put the cloud on more on 3130 maybe, because some images were underexposed, but that's because it's an automatic meter system, so I could not do some compensation, and that's just the way we can. If you notice here, every time I let me see if I can do this on camera. If I turn this wheel setting the ISO, the red parts of the meter are going to move too. Let me see. See? It's kind of hard to do this. Okay, so the red moved, so the red is now there. Even if I turn this, the red is now in different position. So that's how the meter actually knows how to expose for the light. So as you can see, it's a 2.8 lens and it's a 50mm. Luckily enough, if you saw my previous videos, I really enjoy the 50mm focal length. So this goes from 2.8 to f22. You can see it here in the bottom of the barrel of the lens. So you can see it here. Yeah, it's kind of hard to focus there. And here you can set actually the speeds. So there are some tricks you can do by setting the speeds, and there are some manual controls here that you can use, but this camera is really tailored to use the auto mode, like it's here mentioned here. So this has an auto mode there. There's the little A there, and that's where I leave it most of the time, because I will only use this in a way I want to get things really simplified, and that's when I shoot street. I just advance and then shoot it. Okay, so here is the button to open, pretty standard. Then you open to insert your film, and in the bottom it's where you have the rewind crank, which usually is on the top. Here instead of the bottom, you just click on here. That's a tripod mount, obviously. You click here, then you just crank the film and put it back where it was. Okay, so essentially it's really simple to use. Here you have the counter. You need to reset the counter yourself, so you need to put it back to 0 every time you want to start. So it's set to 1 in this case. Now it's just advancing to the next shot, the next shot. Funny enough, it counts from, you should set this not to 1 but to 36, because this counts down. So I'm going to set this to 36. Now it's counting down to the next ones. Okay, so I did set it to 1 the first time I used it, because I thought it was going to count up, but actually counts down. So I'm going to set it here for a couple of shots. Now I'm on 36. So one thing I struggle a little bit on this, it's the focus. So the focus, it's set by distance. So as you can see here, you have a little guy. Let me see if I can just cut the glare. It's kind of hard. So there you see the guy, the little guy there. So you have the little guy, you have 3 people, and you have the mountains. So that's where you set your focus. So infinity, a group of people, or a portrait. So portrait, you need to be at a certain distance to be correct. And luckily enough, in the bottom here, you have the actual scale in meters. So in this case, you need to be around 1.3 meters roundabout to be in focus. You can go closer. This can actually slide a little bit closer. And now we are at somewhere about half a meter. So one thing I struggle, and that's with all the cameras that use scaling for focus, it's to actually measure for the correct distance. But that's just my own problem. I have a problem evaluating distances, but luckily enough, for the streets, I just set this to 3 people. When the same thing is about, well, it says here, about 3 meters away. That's where I stood most of the time. Then I can set to infinity for some landscapes or some urbanscapes. And then I can quickly go to the one guy to get it for closer focus. So why do I like this for the streets? Because even though I struggle with the focus by distance with whatever camera, this one I can just feel it. So first click, it's close. Second click, normal. Third click, away. So I'm on the streets. This has an automatic shutter. So I just go start there. Okay, this is my close-up. This is my group. So this is where I live most of the time. If someone comes by and is really close, I just need to switch it here. There, close. Now normal. Now some boat is going by on the river, infinity. So this can really quickly set my focus because it clicks. So if you listen carefully, okay, so it clicks. So I just, okay, I'm a normal, I shoot it. It's coming closer, I just switch it, bam, it's away. Now it's closer, shoot it, normal, bam, it's closer, and so on. So I can really focus really quick. It's small, and it looks vintage, so people look at it and find it funny or interesting, so they don't really bother that much that I'm taking their picture. And you can check that on later on the slideshow, that people just don't really care because this looks so quirky. It's almost like, I don't know, some crazy guy with a beard taking some shots. So he probably doesn't know anything what he's doing. He's just taking pictures with his grandfather camera or whatever, and I can go by without any much hassle. So really simple. I just wanted to share with you guys the Zeiss Ikon Tenax, and I hope you guys enjoy this one. Stay tuned for the rest of the video so you can see the slideshow with the images. Hope you enjoy this, and I see you soon.